Satan in the wilderness in this day and age. This day and age. Well, he may be saying all sorts of things to test us, because it's not really a temptation so much for Jesus in the wilderness as it is a testing, a foretaste of all the battles he's going to have to fight in his ministry. This is a foreshadowing of all of them. Is the temptation always to use his power for some other purpose. So what is it that Satan would be testing you and me with in this day? I suggest to you that simply Satan is tempting us with the realities of the world as they are, and daring us to ignore them. He's presenting to us the reality of the world of, for instance, the great disparity in wealth, in fortune, in opportunity between those who have the least in this world and those who have excessive amounts beyond their possible need. And Satan raises that up and he says, this is real. And I really want you to ignore it. And then he'll raise up issues of injustice in the world. And he'll say, sure, the system's not just. Sure, there's racism in the world. Sure, there are a lot of people who are prejudiced against all kinds of people in this world. Sure, but you've got your life, so just go on with your life. And he'll raise up the language of fear that is so prevalent in our culture in this day. And he'll say, don't worry about those voices of fear. Just ignore them. Satan in our day to us is saying, just ignore the crystal clear evil in the world and go on your way. Have a nice private Lent. Confess your sins and just carry on the way you've been living, and don't get excited. And that's the voice of Satan in our world, in our day. And the response that Jesus gave was to say, I am the Son of God and I will trust in God. And the response that we give is the one we give in the baptismal covenant. We are the children of God, the sons and daughters of God, adopted by God. And we will give ourselves to that God. And we will refuse to be blind and deaf, and we will live into the fullness of that covenant which calls us into being part of the work for justice and for freedom and for honesty in this world. The baptismal covenant is our response to Satan. So in this Lenten season, we remember that we are bums, that we are not worth much. And we remember that Jesus became a bum with us, that he is our brother. And we run into Satan in this journey, and we are to rebuke him, and we are to say, I believe in God the Father Almighty, creator of heaven and earth, who is coming into this world in the kingdom of peace and justice that he is bringing. And I believe that I am a part of that, a vital part of that. If we can make that transition from the top of the mountain of the Transfiguration, where we are nothing, to that point where we are in our own minds clear about our place in the world and our role in the world, then not only will angels minister to us along the way. But then we'll know the resurrected life.